Hi, I'm Jennifer Simmons with AIM. Welcome to the 7th week of the 2021 session of the Indiana General Assembly. We've got the whole legislative team with us today. Lindsay Moss, Jenna Nepper, and Campbell Ritchie. Guys, we've had a busy week at the State House. Jenna, where are we in terms of the process?
Yeah, we're approaching the halfway point of session, so committees are done for the first half. The House's third reading deadline is Monday, and the Senate will finish up their business on Tuesday. We still have a handful of bills we're working on, especially on the House side. There are at least 3 or 4 that are on the House calendar that we'll be reaching out on. But next week will be the halfway point, and then we'll regroup it as bills switch houses.
Great. Lindsay, specifically, Senate Bill 42 is a bill that we've talked about a few times here. A bill, it's called Public Safety Budgets, but there was a lot more to it than that. It had some real home rule or local decision-making implications. What happened with that bill?
Yeah, this was a bill that would have prohibited local units from cutting their public safety budgets. I think a lot of it was kind of rooted in concerns about departments or communities that would be defunding the police, kind of in response to some of the national conversation about policing in cities across the country. But there was a bill that would have prohibited these sorts of cuts from happening. But we argued, there's not any community in Indiana that was going to be defunding the police, but the way the language was written would have really tied the hands of communities in terms of crafting their own budgets and ensuring they have the flexibility to move money between departments and situations like that. So the bill was on third reading this week, where all of the senators vote on the bill, and it failed pretty drastically. I think the final roll call was 9 votes in support of it and 37 in opposition. So that was a really strong roll call, showing that they just thought this bill went too far and kind of tying the hands of local governments throughout the budget making process. So we were glad to see that bill be defeated.
Well, some good news. Campbell, we've been saying all session that things are moving really fast. So there are a couple of bills that are, in fact, they've already gone to the governor. He's already signed the bills that we've been tracking and very interested in this session. Why don't you give a little bit of an update on Senate Bill 1 and House Bill 1056?
Yeah, thanks. There were 2 bills that were being fast-tracked this session, so they went through both houses and right to the governor, outside of the normal process where all the House bills are heard in the House in the first half and the Senate bills are heard in the Senate in the first half, and then they switch. And those bills were Senate Bill 1 1056, like you said. Senate Bill 1 is a priority for both caucuses and the governor. The immunity bill that essentially gives businesses, nonprofit organizations, and including local governments civil immunity from being sued because someone contacted COVID-19 while on our premises or in the course of normal business dealings. Though there haven't been many of those lawsuits so far, it's just a sort of peace of mind for all of those businesses operating in uncertain circumstances, and local governments as well operating in uncertain circumstances, to give surety there that there won't be a lot of litigation around that. The other one is 1056, which cleans up an issue from last year where a very minor change in the law created an unintended consequence where now, for recording a lot of things, including mortgages and liens, there would need to be 2 separate witnesses. And this was especially difficult during the pandemic to get this done, and it was always an unintended consequence of this recording bill. So they fast-tracked a fix for that so that you would no longer need 2 witnesses to adequately record your mortgages and liens. And I know this was a big priority for a lot of clerk treasurers who do a lot of recording, and so that bill has already been passed and signed into law. So that is going to change back to largely the way it was before.
Thanks, Campbell. Lindsay, House Bill 1527, which we talk about in today's legislative summary, but it's really important, I think, that our members understand what's happening with the bill, what the bill does, and what's happening with the bill. So would you go ahead and just give a little more context on House Bill 1527, eminent domain?
Sure. So many of you might remember 2 years ago, a big bill that passed that pretty greatly restricted the ability of cities and towns to use extraterritorial powers outside of their corporate boundaries for a variety of purposes, including using eminent domain. This bill, House Bill 1527, is kind of a continuation of that conversation, where now under this bill, in order to exercise eminent domain outside of corporate boundaries, for example, for sewer easements in particular, you would have to get the approval of county commissioners in order to proceed with that project. And it also adds some new attorney's fees and other procedures throughout the process that we know will cause delays and increase costs to achieving these projects. So we were hopeful that this bill would not get out of committee. It did get out of committee, and now it's sitting on third reading. If you are doing any projects outside your corporate boundaries, for example, water, sewer projects, and you're having to use eminent domain, or you think you might have to, it's really important for you to reach out to your legislator and explain to them the circumstances and why you need this authority without adding another layer of the county commissioner approval, and various ways in which a property owner can now challenge these proceedings through the court system as well.
All right, thanks, Lindsay. Okay, everybody, don't forget to read your legislative summary, take a look at the tracking list to see what else we're working on as the first half of the legislative session comes to a close. We'll have a bit of a wrap up next week on the first half of session. And please watch your email inbox this week for any emergencies that come up. That tends to happen in those last days of the first half. So we'll be back with you next week with a little more info. Thanks.